It's game 57 of the 2023 Banana Ball World Tour, loved by our good friends over at Zappos. Boy, quite possibly the greatest national anthem performance in Bananas history in the 256th straight sold-out game. 4-year-old Charlie just lit Atrium Health Ballpark ablaze. And the full capacity crowd here in Kannapolis, North Carolina, fired up to see the 27 and 24 Bananas take on the 21 and 18 Party Animals. Let's see how the Bananas will line up defensively against their arch rivals here this evening. From left to right in the outfield, Michael Deeb, D.R. Meadows, and Vinny DeRubius. In the infield, third to first, Jackson Olsen, Ryan Cox, Danny Hosley, and Eric Jones Jr. Bill Leroy is handling the catching duties, and the birthday boy, Zach Phillips, gets his first start in his Banana Ball career.
Oh, it is another fun defensive lineup for the Bananas. Ryan Cox with a hat trick against the Florida Collegiate League All-Stars for the Bananas in the last game. And how about this? When you look at that trick play from Zach Phillips, he's the fastest pitcher in Banana Ball history to ever reach a trick play, and he did it with a behind-the-back snag.
Shades of Dylan Porter. It was miraculous to see. And let's dig a little deeper on the pride of Texarkana, Texas. Zach Phillips towing the slab for the Nanners, the southpaw, coming to Banana Land after 4 years in the Kansas City Royals organization. He was nabbed by them in the 27th round of the 2019 MLB draft. That was after a year at Ole Miss and 2 at Grayson Community College. And although he only has 1 strikeout in his 5 2/3 innings pitched, he has been awful effective.
Well, you look at that 3-minute and 58-second MPI, and he wants to work quick. Now, how do you work quick? Well, strikeouts really aren't your friend. And Zach Phillips has 9 groundouts this season to 7 flyouts. Groundouts, a key way to keep that MPI down. I have a feeling he's going to be working on that tonight. It's going to be really fun to see him, again, in his first start for the Bananas on the season.
Let's take a quick peek at the Party Animals lineup that is tabbed to oppose him. Reese Hampton is at the top as per usual, the center fielder. Dalton Cornett behind him. Jake Skull also due to swing it here in the first. Bryson Bloomer cleans it up. The Tanner Thomas, Jason Swan, Chase Acuff, Garrett Delano, Joe Lytle, and Dustin Baber round out the 10 that Mike Vivacis and Sam Claycamp have penciled in. Here's Jesse Cole.
Banana Nation, it's time. So on 3, I need everyone here to yell, "Start the clock." 1, 2, 3. Showtime.
Showtime indeed from the city of Looms, Kannapolis, North Carolina. The home state kid, Reese Hampton, born and raised in Charlotte, less than an hour from us here, will turn around and hit from the right side, which has been quite a rarity for him on this tour.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen Reese Hampton lead off the game for the Bananas from this right-handed side of the plate. But let me tell you, Reese with a couple bombs from that right side of the plate, and you talk about coming back to his home state of North Carolina, you gotta feel like he wants to get that 10th double-digit home run here in his home state.
He was a 12th round draft pick of the Detroit Tigers in 2018. Heater just misses the inside corner. Zach Phillips, 4-seam, 2-seam cut fastballs, works a curveball and a changeup in there as well. Does a good job getting that one in on the hands. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And what you saw there on that pitch from Zach Phillips, just a little bit of messing with Reese Hampton's timing, a little bit of a quick pitch type situation there. You're going to see him mix that in tonight.
Good fight there from Reese. There's the backdoor curveball. He's able to spoil it. And the count's still 2-2. Hampton pacing the tour with his .389 batting average, .412 on base percentage, .1149 OPS. And he grounds that one foul to the left side.
And funny enough, Reese Hampton, one of 3 batters to collect a hit against Zach Phillips this season. And what kind of hit was it? Believe it or not, a home run from the right side of the plate.
7th pitch of the at-bat. Phillips drops down and gets his 2nd strikeout as a Banana. What a shifty move there from the southpaw.
And that's what makes Zach Phillips incredibly tricky. I mean, not only is he messing with the timing, but you're going to see him change up arm slots.
And now that he's Cade Reese-Hampton, a guy who has only struck out for his 21st time compared to 21 ball four sprints he's earned, he rings the bell of Dalton Cornett, who was not at all prepared for a lefty-on-lefty pitch behind his Tookus. Now he gets a heater right down Broadway and swings through it. DC3 in his second World Tour, hitting .351. Front door bender makes it a 1-2 count.
And swinging the bat about as hot as he once did in February and March for the Party Animals. It's got to feel really good for the Bananas early on in this ball game to have a lefty in Phillips facing a lefty batter in Cornett.
Backhanded stab there. Jackson Olsen gets it across the diamond just in the nick of time. And after an excellent performance in the field against the Florida League All-Stars a couple nights ago, he parlays that into a sparkling play here in the top of the first tonight.
We've seen some back and forth plays from Jackson Olsen defensively at third base. Sometimes he gets great jumps, other times he is late to the ball. And we saw him struggle in Akron a bit, but ever since that series, you want to talk about a guy who has gotten incredible jumps on ball and getting the glove on it and strong throws over to first base. Jackson Olsen doing some really great stuff at third base over the last couple of games.
2-0 count now on the 15th overall draft pick in the 2010 MLB draft. Now 3-0 on the tour leader in sprints. Jake Skoll has 29 of them. He is certainly not afraid to take ball four, and he's not afraid to swing 3-0 either. Picks up a base knock. That's a guy hitting .346 and tied for the tour lead with his .462 on base percentage.
Well, as much as Jake Skoll loves taking those ball four sprints for the Party Animals, he is not opposed to swinging on those 3-0 and 3-1 counts because he knows that outfield is shading in the event of a possible sprint defense. And Skoll, a guy who likes to get those balls over those outfielders' heads and try and get some extra base hits.
Heater gets the bottom of the zone. 0-1 count to Bryson Bloomer, the third baseman in his first World Tour, hitting .353, a .430 on base percentage, .950 OPS. Video game numbers for a man in his third year in Banana Land after winning back-to-back Coastal Plain League championships as a collegiate nanner. Phillips paying close attention to Jake Skoll on first, who now takes off as this one's fouled towards the fans. And it's caught! Bryson Bloomer fouls out to a fan. An excellent play to end the top of the first inning by that guy.
And you talk about a nice birthday present for Zach Phillips at the end of the first. How about the catch from the fan? 4 minutes and 16 seconds for Zach Phillips here in the first.
Nice backhanded grab there, reaching across his body. Get another look, see if we can grab it. Oh yeah, all over it. What a play! Goodness gravy, send that thing to Sports Center. Nearly tumbled over the railing. Great body control. And now Brett Helton is going to have to keep the Nanners off the board to keep this a scoreless game in the all-important points category. Here's the defense behind him. From left to right in the outfield, Jake Skoll, Reese-Hampton, and Tanner Thomas. From third to first in the infield, Bryson Bloomer, Chase Acuff, Dustin Baber, and Jason Swan. Dalton Cornett is behind the dish, and Brett Helton gets his third straight start.
And Bryson Bloomer with the hat trick himself the last time the Party Animals squared off against the Bananas. And how about this? Jake Skoll, he's getting his third start in left field this season for the Party Animals. Of course, Breland Almodovar released from his contract due to a violation of team rules. So Skoll now getting some more action out here in left field. And Garrett Delano slotting in at EH for the Party Animals. Man, it's fun to see him swing the bat.
Could not agree more, and let's take a quick look at Brett Helton on the mound. Zach Phillips has spent 4 years with the Kansas City Royals organization. Brett Helton spent 4 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates minor league teams. And This is what he's done here on his first World Tour after joining Bananaland in the Summer Series this past August. He is the king of minutes per inning.
I mean, a 3-minute and 16-second mark. It's only been raised 2 seconds via his starts. And you talk about his last start, 6 1/3 innings pitched, only 1 run allowed, and it wasn't even earned. Just dominating stuff from Brett Helton, who picked up the win.
By the way, on the bottom of the graphic, the reason why Chad Reese, our coordinating producer of BTV, was disqualified is because his girlfriend Kate cut his hair.
What?
Thought he was like Samson. He derived all his coordinating, producing powers from those luscious locks. But boy, does he look good with a little curl bobbing right down at the shoulders.
I mean, it's about to be John Wick-esque.
Correct. That was actually his inspiration for getting Kate to break out the old skizzors. And how about that? DR Meadows struck out very quickly by Helton, who has not thrown a ball yet tonight.
Took only 28 seconds for Brett Helton to record that strikeout of DR Meadows. That's a nice pace for a strikeout.
Bizarre way to start both half innings. Hampton rarely goes down on strikes. Neither does Meadows. That was only his 16th strikeout compared to 18 ball 4 sprints he's earned. And of course, coming into the at-bat, hitting .353, second best on this Nanners team. Now Michael Deeb in his third World Tour bounces that to Jason Swan, who goes between the legs to Brett Helton. Swanee 4 for 4 in trick plays. Great feel there by the 5-year man out of Georgia Southern.
I mean, Jason Swan recognized he had time to get a little tricky with that one, going underneath the legs. And great job by Brett Helton, a pro move, getting off the mound very quickly and covering that first base bag.
As far as position players go, nobody has made more trick plays without missing a trick play than Jason Swan. He's 4 for 4. Still trails Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, who's 6 for 6 though on the tour. Swanee now tied with Dylan Porter for second most in the unfallible trick play department. 2-0 to Dan Oberst is looped towards center. Reese Hampton broke back now. He makes a sliding catch coming in. And 1 minute and 54 seconds for Brett Helton to take care of the Nanners in short order. What's new? And the fans fired up as we are scoreless and heading to the second inning. Let's take a look at why on Saturday night Jackson Olsen was the showman of the night.
And wouldn't you know it, but this is the first time Jackson Olsen has claimed a showman of the night, our greatest showman. And you see a former Florida League player himself. Now how about this? Almost some Jackson on Jackson crime, but he makes a great play near the fence. And we got the paparazzi catching that thing. And now we got Jackson mic'd up here on the broadcast as well.
Oh, chop to you. I've never seen anything like it. Oh! Jackson trying to get the lead. Woo! He does!
Let's go, baby. All right, I'm getting the third one right here, and I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this next play, and it's going to happen.
Oh, my gosh. But you talk about an unbelievable play. We're watching it here on the replay, Jackson. Just an unbelievable pick on your end. I love the fist pumping.
From the mic to the batter's box. And he cranks it down the right.
Just unbelievable stuff. I mean, he avoids our cameraman Jackson, makes some sweet defensive gems. And how about this? A trick play for Mr. Olsen to get out of the 7th. And then in the 9th, Danny Hosley on the mound, 2 outs, trying to end this ball game. Jackson Olsen sliding snag and Oberst with the pick to end it. Jackson Olsen, a phenomenal game, also had a walk-off sprint for the Bananas. And just unbelievable stuff as Zach Phillips coming out to the mound. And this is fun.
Yeah, it looks like we have a music video in the making. We'll see this on the Bananas TikTok, Instagram Reels, quite possibly Facebook. Just keep it locked to all Bananas social media to see where that thing ends up and how it turns out, as Phillips exhausted after the performance. But a big part of it was grabbing a first pitch strike here to Tanner Thomas.
Yeah, that is not an easy thing to do, running in all the way from the bullpen here at Atrium Health Ballpark.
Front door curveballs lined back up the middle. Mr. Tinder Thomas 2018 and 19 collegiate banana, now in year 2 as a professional party animal. Has the second hit of the night for the bad boys in Banana Land. Tyler Gillum shouting out Joel, the fan who made the catch on the Bryson Bloomer foul ball. Shout out Joel. Jason Swan at the dish with Mr. Tinder Thomas aboard and no outs. Swanee, the pride of Jacksonville, Florida. Talked about it on the pregame show, has been swinging a hot bat as of late. 4 ball, 4 sprints earned in just 3 games here so far in July.
But it's going to be very difficult as Zach Billups doing the important thing and getting ahead of Swanee here already in an 0-2 count.
Elevates with the fastball. It's fouled off by the Party Animals first baseman. Comes in hitting .265, a .377 on base percentage. Lines that one down the right field line, and it tails barely foul. Swanee missed extra bases by about a foot. Jason with a couple triples, 6 doubles so far on the tour. Phillips continues to pound the zone until he goes submarine, and now a 1-2 count. Tanner Thomas 14 for 15 in his stolen base attempts. Very dangerous man on the bags as this one is lined to Vincent DeRubius. Thinks about throwing it behind his counterpart in right, but will be content with grabbing 1 out on the play. Oh, that was Jay Eckerd, not Joel. Jay Eckerd with the foul ball catch. Thank you, Kurt Kessler, for getting us that most important information awful quickly.
Kurt continues to be the best at doing that for us.
Jackson Olsen to second, 1. Hosley over to first. Magnificent 5-4-3 twin killing. Just what the doctor ordered for Zach Phillips, who now has 2 scoreless innings under his belt. Another look at the Olsen and Hosley to Jones Jr. double play. And Josh, I think it's high time to bless the world with your beautiful brain and some of the statistical analysis that you have been delving into.
So that's exactly right. I wanted to dive a little bit back into banana ball RISP. So we're going to talk about that today.
Yeah.
And now, as we get into that first slide, now what exactly is RISP, you may ask? Well, it actually stands for batting average with runners in scoring position. And now, when you dive into that a little bit deeper, any runner that is on second or third base would be considered a runner in scoring position. They could easily score on a single.
Right.
And it is a slight indicator of clutch hitting, but of course, one of those statistics that can vary from year to year. Really hard to say whether it is exactly the best indicator of clutch hitting. Now, we get to the overall RISP numbers on the tour, and we're going to start with the Party Animals here first. Leading the tour in batting average with runners in scoring position. How about Jason Swan, our guy? Now, second on the team, it's going to be Bryson Bloomer batting .381, and rounding that out, of course, it's the Party Animals center fielder tonight, Reese Hampton at .371. You look at the overall batting average with runners in scoring position numbers, and the Party Animals batting .302. Now you get over to the banana side, and of course, you've got Michael Deeb leading the way. You've also got D.R. Meadows second. And Dakota McFadden, he is batting third with a .298 batting average with runners in scoring position. And he's here leading off the second against Brett Helton with a liner straight to Bryson Bloomer and caught for the first out.
The pride of Rocky Point, North Carolina, got good lumber on it, but lines it to the hot corner. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Brett Helton, who only needed a minute and 54 seconds to dispatch the Bananas in the bottom of the first inning. Sets his sights on another pride of the Tar Heel State. Eric Jones Jr. was born in Jacksonville, Florida, but he's about 2 years old, moved to North Charlotte. Spent middle school actually in Birmingham, Alabama, but then for high school moved back to South Charlotte. Skies this one in foul territory. Swanee's got a beat on it, runs out of room, and it is not caught by a fan. 1-2 count on the man tied for the tour leader in homers, Eric Jones Jr. with 9 bombs.
And surprising, Eric Jones batting 5th in this lineup, of course, tonight. This is the first time we have seen him in any spot in the Bananas batting order that isn't the leadoff spot or batting second for this ball club.
This is game 57 on the tour. He's played in 53 of them as he's got a base knock. The home state kid who also spent all 3 years of his college career in North Carolina, less than a half an hour down the road at Davidson, will be pinch run for by Malachi Mitchell. Flash the kid. The tour leader in both stolen bases and runs scored as Jackson Olsen swinging on the first pitch, flies it to center. Reese Hampton has it. Malachi didn't know that it was hit in play, and he's out by a mile. That is a devastating 8-3 double play, and Brett Helton is out of it just like that.
And he gets out of that inning in 1 minute and 40 seconds. That is now back-to-back sub-2 innings for Brett Helton, and that is a serious mental mistake there by Malachi Mitchell, trying to steal on that pitch. An unfortunate outcome there for the Bananas in the second.
You got to credit Reese Hampton. He did an excellent job of pretending like he was not under that ball, and then fires a laser beam over to first to get 2 outs for the price of 1. We'll throw it down to Maceo and the boys. It is player dance time. 3rd inning coming in a scoreless affair after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your players.
Maceo Harrison, another incredible job, aided by Malachi Mitchell. Fresh off being doubled off the bags, Alex Ziegler, Nolan Daniel, and Noah Bridges for the Party Animals. Drew Gillespie, Jake Lialios, Colin Ledbetter, Tucker Perry, and Zach Blankenship all getting in on the fun. And once again, Brett Helton, the starting pitcher, the first man out to congratulate all of his teammates who participated in the boogie. How about this for Garrett Delano? In only his 2nd start on the tour since night 2, back in West Palm Beach, Florida, he is the donut hitter. If he strikes out, the full capacity crowd will all have the right to free donuts courtesy of Dunkin' Donuts. That one bounced back up the middle, and Mr. Delano now 8 for 15 on the tour. The batting average, albeit in a small sample size, north of 500.
I mean, it is unbelievable. You see him doing the little donut chant as he reaches first base. And what's more, so happy with that hit, he gave his bat a little kiss before throwing it before reaching first base.
As intimidating of a man as the jiu-jitsu master may be, he's a lover at heart. Now Joe Lytle will swing away and fouls that one out of the stadium. From the Party Animals EH to their DH. Lytle in the 9 hole, hitting .296. And quickly behind, no balls at 2 strikes. Boy, it's been a clinic between Helton and Phillips of getting ahead of hitters here. That's just how they work.
And that's how we've already seen a quick game go by in the 3rd inning. And already there is still an hour and 38 minutes left on this clock. That is a huge, huge part of getting through innings quickly, is throwing strikes and getting that ball put in play.
And 0-2, Phillips goes right back after the OKC kid. Lytle grew up in the capital of Oklahoma and then spent all 4 years of his college career at Oklahoma City University. That one hits him. Heater gets the back arm. Lytle plunked for the 5th time on the tour. And a brief, cute little twerk there to let everybody here in Atrium Health Ballpark know he's A-OK.
That's what I've continued to hear. I've talked to quite a few players after they've gotten some of those shiners.
Yeah.
And what I continue to hear from all of these guys is twerking it out, really the best way to fight through that pain.
Ty Jackson was the first. He will certainly not be the last in Banana Land. He's become a favorite medication after being nailed by a pitch. And what a dangerous moment here for a 3-2-2. Zach Phillips brings Hosley and Cox into the mound with him. DR Meadows out in shallow center field as they all pull off this choreographed dance here, which is a doozy. It's like Charlie Chaplin-esque. Now Cox and Hosley dancing back towards their position, and Dustin Baber with eyes wide at how much green grass lay out in the field fouls it off.
I believe that was a Phillips polka.
Yes. You're spot on. That one lined into center field, a base knock. Baber has a single. Delano stays put at third and now will creep off the bag before retreating. 2 singles and a hit batter. And the bottom 3 in the Party Animals lineup have the bases loaded for Reese Hampton at the top, who struck out his first time.
And it's going to be very interesting to see how the Bananas line up defensively for this. We've got the corner shaded in, and it looks like the infield as a whole starting to creep in. But Hosley and Cox probably still wanting to play relatively close to that second base bag and try and turn a possible double play here.
Hampton is as tough a guy as there is in Banana Land to double up. He's not enthused by the strike call there from Vincent Chapman. It's the top outside corner. Reggie Liggins, the umpire in the field tonight. Backdoor bender doesn't find the door, and the count 2-1 on the Party Animal center fielder.
But at the same time, you're willing to concede 1 run in this inning and leave it up to your offense in the bottom half if you can trade it for 2 outs on a double play.
Great check swing there by Hampton. That thing tunneled in as the curveball, but turned out it was a heater. Now he's ahead 3 balls and a strike. And that one bounced up the middle. It's a base hit. Delano scores easily. Lytle gets a stop sign from Mike Vivacis. And the merry-go-round continues here for the bad boys in Banana Land. They draw first blood and lead the 3rd inning 1-0. And now will perform what has become their signature first-run scoring celebration here over the past couple weeks. A modification of the Danny Hosley dance that the Bananas have come to love. Classic Party Animals fashion. Not a full heist, but a bit of a stolen dance there from the Nanners. Dalton Cornett now ahead, a ball and no strikes.
And already do a little callback to a certain Bananalytics PowerPoint. You see why Reese Hampton in that top 3 for the Party Animals batting with runners in scoring position as he gets that single and helps them draw first blood.
This one fouled off. Fans could make a huge play here. They fail to catch it. Count 1-2 on Cornett. He stung one to Jackson Olsen at third the first time and was robbed of potential extra bases by a really nice play from Banana Land's greatest showman. Heater just misses away. 2-2 count.
It's a really good pitch by Zach Phillips, trying to locate it on that outside part of the plate, and here looking to go inside on the hands of Cornett. This one's going to be caught by Vinny DeRubius, and the throw coming home will be over Bill Leroy. Luckily, Zach Phillips there to back it up, but the run will score. A sac fly there for Dalton Cornett. Now 2 runs in the inning for the Party Animals.
Productive at bat for the Party Animals backstop, who picks up his 32nd run batted in on the tour. Good base running there by Hampton and Baber. As Dustin over to third, Reese up to second. Now Jake Skoll signaled his first time to center and was stranded aboard back in the first. See Zach Phillips, incredible pace, slow down a little bit here with two men in scoring position and such a terrifying threat at the dish. Not to beat a dead horse, if you've watched a few Banana Ball broadcasts on this tour, but this is where Banana Ball is so much more punishing for pitchers than baseball, because you have one of the better hitters on the tour up here. In baseball, first base is open, but if Phillips throws 4 balls to Jake Skoll, Hampton and Baber will score easily from second and third.
It's really tough to talk about, and also when you consider how deep this Party Animals lineup is, as Jake Skoll gets plunked here. Zach Phillips, he's still going to have to face Bryson Bloomer in the on-deck circle, who is also having a terrific tour.
Looks like our graphics software has gone to the land of good and plenty briefly. Party Animals lead the inning by 2 runs in a scoreless game in points as Jake Skoll gets both his legs into the old potato sack and will hop his way the 90 feet all the way to first base. That is a rigorous way to reach first after being plunked. Bryson Bloomer fouls that off. Great barehanded snag by Mike Vivacis. Say the potato sack race up there with the fire hose, submarine, and telescope as one of the greatest inventions of the Dutch. You got any other entries you want to throw in there, Josh?
No, not at all. I'm speechless.
Line drive base knock from Bryson Bloomer. The Party Animals will once again go station to station, as that ball was struck well, and Bloomer has his tour leading 39th run batted in.
Man, I'm just trying to figure out how you have come to learn so much information on the Dutch.
Magician never reveals his secrets. Heater gets the outside corner to Tanner Thomas. That looked like a cutter. One of the 3 types of fastballs that Zach Phillips employs. Now a check swing back to Phillips. He will flip it home for 1 out. Bill Leroy, no chance to get the second over at first, but that is a very productive second out of the inning.
And that's just great strategy by Zach Phillips, and actually the easiest play he has to make, as a lefty doesn't have to go and turn and fire and throw that ball over to first base, just gets to underhand flip it to Bill Leroy and get that force play.
The old 1-2 fielder's choice. You see that every night at the ballpark. As Jason Swan gets that one off the glove of Ryan Cox, Bryson Bloomer is going to score from second. It's a 2-run single for Swanee, who's now 1 for 2 on the ball game. And we go right back to your PowerPoint from half an inning ago. That's the Party Animal and the Tour's leader in batting average with runners in scoring position.
I'll tell you what, these guys make me look awfully good, don't they?
Swan and Hampton and Bloomer, by the way. Oh, that's the top 3, Josh.
That trick!
That's the opposite of the broadcaster's jinx. Chase Acuff joins the barrel party. That one over the leaping attempt of Jackson Olsen. Tanner Thomas is going to score easily. Jason Swan being waved around third. No relay throw from Ryan Cox. It is a 7-run top of the third inning for the Party Animals as they continue to pour it on. That's a 2-run double from Chase Acuff. And the Party Animals have now batted around. Garrett Delano started this 7-run rally with a single up the middle and watches the curveball bounce in for ball 1. Good stop by Bill Leroy. Over 5,000 fans in the sold-out Atrium Health Ballpark, salivating at the opportunity to earn free donuts here. That one gets the bottom of the zone. Count even at 2-2. They're one strike away. And instead it'll be a bouncer to third. Jackson Olsen goes behind his back, flips it over to first, and ends the painful top of the third inning for Zach Phillips and company as the Party Animals score 7 runs on 5 hits and strand 1 man.
Yeah, and it just continues to be that third inning pitching for Zach Phillips that hurt him again. He had 2 sprints in his third inning against the Party Animals his last time out, and now gets tagged for 7 runs here. We'll see if he comes out for another inning or if the Bananas are going to go to that bullpen early.
Niners have a whole lot of work to do in the bottom of the third. 7 runs needed to tie it, 8 to win it. We'll throw it down to Jesse Cole for a little father-son catch.
Oh, 1 down. All right, dads, go. You got to get both sons. You better go fast. We've got 45 seconds. Who's going to win? We got 1 dad's got 1. Oh, he cheeked him. He juked him. Oh, the dad is working hard. Is he going to dive? We got 1 son over here. He's still trying to catch him. And we got 1. He's trying to get the second one. Who's going to get it? It's a Davis and Jake, and we got it right there in the outfield. And there you have it, a little father-son catch, banana style.
Good work there from our dads we have here in the city of Looms, tracking down their sons. Now we'll try and ascertain them and get them off the field of play. We have a scoreless game in the all-important points category, 2.5 innings in the books. But I would bet my life savings that the Party Animals change that with Brett Helton only needing 3 outs and a 7-run cushion here in the third inning.
You know what I would wager all of my money on? That is the new Banana Ball record for the most runs scored by a single team in a half inning in Banana Ball history.
You're correct.
7
Josh.
runs.
Yes. History, as per usual, has been made in Banana Land.
And that is most definitely the first time on this year's tour that we have seen any team bat over around the order,
right?
We should say.
Yeah.
We've seen the Party Animals bat around, but they batted around and over.
Yes, when you're hitting 10, when you have an EH and a DH, not often you get all 10 to the plate and then get the guy who let it off up there again, and that's what Garrett Delano did. He started it all with the single, ended it all with the ground out to Jackson Olsen at third. It's 7-8-9 for the Nanners here in the bottom half. Ryan Cox will swing it against Brett Helton. Just flicks the bat out there, able to spoil a well-placed fastball. Count still 0-2. That one flipped up the middle. Dustin Baber, backhand between the legs. Not in time, though. Bang, bang over at first. Reggie Liggins says that Coxey beat the rap by a hair. And to the naked eye, I agree.
I also agree. We will see if there's any kind of challenge.
The Party Animals want the fans to use their challenge here. Looks like it's not going to happen, and the Party Animals are going to keep the confetti in their popper for the time being.
I mean, the Party Animals understand they may very well need that challenge at a more important time later on in this ball game. They don't want to possibly risk it now and lose it for the rest of the ball game until a possible showdown situation.
Well, especially when you lead the inning by a historical margin. What's the point in possibly wasting your challenge on getting the first out of the inning? The odds are in their favor as that one misses the inside corner. 2-0 count here on the 6-year Banana, Bill Leroy.
Now, my dear Biko, we also find ourselves in a little bit of a scoring conundrum there. Is that a ball where you think Ryan Cox still collects a hit regardless of the outcome? Or does the Dustin Baber trick play attempt make it a trick play missed, and that's how Cox reaches?
Reese Hampton behind his back with a trick play. Attempted and secured. Reese lightning out in center, grabs his 10th of the tour. He's officially in double digits and has really come a long way from starting the tour 3 for 9. He's now 10 for 18.
He just continues to practice more and more, especially during batting practice. And look at that. I mean, it doesn't even look difficult for him.
Front door benders, line down the left field line. Danny Hosley smells 2 bases. Ryan Cox will hold up at third. Haas has his 10th double of the tour. Guy who comes in only hitting .250, but a .394 on base percentage. Both those numbers, of course, will rise here. And he's one of those guys that the more you dig into the stats, the deeper you get, the more you like what you're seeing.
I mean, only a .250 batting average on the season, but when you consider the extra base hits for Danny Hosley and his ability to draw ball four sprints at a very high rate, and also steal first base, it's just unbelievable. I mean, it leads to that over 100 OPS plus, and the WRC plus also loves him as well.
So do the boys after boogieing with him on second base. Now he's trying to get rid of his shin guard. Reggie Liggins isn't letting him, though, as Vinny DeRubius is coming up singing some Taylor Swift. And Reggie will now grab the shin guard and throw it over to Tyler Gillum. Josh, as per usual, Banana Ball is moving at warp speed. But to answer your question, that's a single for Ryan Cox. I don't think a clean exchange has him out at first either. That exchange was as fast, I think, as Dustin Baber could have done it either way. It was so quick, in fact, I wasn't even 100% sure he had gone between his legs. The ball was in his mitten, in his hand, a heartbeat later. That one bounced foul. It's just the mystique and the magic of Derek Ginger at second base. Can perform trick plays like nobody we've seen on this tour.
Almost invisible to the human eye.
The check swing there by Mr. DeRubius. Lets that one go outside of the zone. The Lander kid has been heating up as of late, and as I say that, he's a victim of the Brett Helton curveball. And the first man to strike out against the former pride of the University of Utah tonight. Second man, of course, D.R. Meadows led off the first inning with the strikeout as he now bounces that foul.
And that's kind of what you're getting with Vinny DeRubius, is over half of his hits this season have gone for extra bases. But at the same time, Vinny, a guy who's got one of the higher strikeout rates on the Bananas this season.
Hilton gets ahead 0-2 with a front door bender. Besides the curveball, he throws a fastball, cutter, and changeup. As Maceo Harrison performs his legendary wrecking ball dance, and a heater sails in high. That one bounced foul, backhanded by Bloomer. Hilton, a Ute for 3 years where he was a two-way man. That's how talented the Colorado Springs native is. And boy, whenever you get to see him take some batting practice, you understand why. It's a light show. D.R. Meadows lofts that one to right. Tanner Thomas behind his back with 2 men in scoring position. Performs a masterful trick play, his 7th of the tour. And the Party Animals jump out 1-0.
And when you're up 7 in a ball game, you can afford to make a trick play like that. And look at that. The glove, it's pretty close to the ground, and Tanner comes up with it behind the back.
And the Party Animals all congregate at our first base camera to celebrate. They lead by a point with 3 innings in the books as the Banana Band blasts away behind home plate. And as they perform, we are blessed to be joined by Eric Jones Jr., mic'd up down at first. How you living down there, EJ? Well, unfortunately, we have technical difficulties currently and are having no luck with EJ's mic, but we'll fight the good fight with the gremlins in the airwaves here in Kannapolis, North Carolina, and see if we can grab him later on tonight. There are wisps of him appearing, but it seems like it's pretty much a lost cause here. We'll have the best in the business, fool around with the technology, and hopefully get to hear from EJ a little later on tonight. Got a laundry list of questions I'm dying to ask him.
He is not barking if he hears us.
Correct.
Oh!
From the void, Eric Jones Jr. does give us a woof and is back to the land of shadow. Christian Dearman, the new man on the mound. So to answer your question from an inning ago, Josh, would Zach Phillips get out there for another frame? That would be a no from Tyler Gillum and Adam Byron. With Mr. Electric ahead of his roommate from a tour ago, Tanner Thomas, 0-1. Vincent Chapman calls time, dusts off home plate, and puts on a mind-boggling martial arts display, and now does what he does best. That derriere is moving in hypnotizing fashion. Center field. I said Tanner Thomas was hitting. Clearly that was not him. Lytle hit by a pitch his first time, came around to score a run, and is now 1 for 1 tonight.
Yeah, that was a good piece of hitting by Joe Lytle. Hard hit. And also fortunate the Bananas playing a little bit of a shift on Lytle, expecting him to pull a little more towards that first base bag. Danny Hosley, who normally would be set up around that position where Lytle hit the ball, nowhere to be found.
For a man who is a part of the catching platoon with Dalton Cornett, Lytle runs quite well. 5 for 6 on the tour in his stolen base attempts. Christian Dearman in his 5th year as a Banana, 3 collegiately. Picked up a Pettit Cup in his last college campaign with the Nanners, now in year 2 as a professional Banana baller. It's a pop-up to right center. DeRubius in pursuit. Will grab it for out number 1.
That was a good pitch by Christian Dearman. He had Dustin Baber way out in front of that pitch. He just got some wood on that ball and lifted it out to right field. Pretty solid piece of hitting there for Dustin Baber, considering how early he was already getting that swing out there on that Dearman pitch.
Baber now 1 for 2 on the night with a run scored. Mirroring the box score for East Hampton so far, Christian Dearman does a 180 on the mound and fires a fastball up and out. And a quick 2-0 count on Reese Lightning. Dearman throws a 4-seam, 2-seam fastballs as well as a sinker. Adds a splitter and a slider in to round out the arsenal. Continues to goof around with the headwear, going with the headband tonight. After trying out a litany of different interesting pieces of headgear.
Look, I don't blame him for going headband tonight. He's gotten a little highlights done in that hair. He really wants the people of Kannapolis to see that bad boy.
Lytle takes off. Now he's trying to get back to first base, and he does safely. Boy, he was nearly 40% of the way to second. Then about faced and was just able to beat the rap for Mr. Dearman as Reese Hampton fouls this one off, and it leaves the stadium.
And just when you thought a lot of the fans looking towards our fan representative for the challenge, thinking that he might use it there, Christian Dearman already went right back to the stretch and fired that pitch, so the challenge could not go off there.
A beautiful offering. I don't know what Reese Hampton was looking for. Ended up getting a heater right around the knees. Looked like it had some cut movement. May have backdoored in there. It's the second time Hampton has struck out tonight.
Yeah, and it's rare enough that you see Reese Hampton strike out just one time in a game, but now with a multi-strikeout game, those are few and far between for the Party Animal center fielder.
Dalton Cornett loops that one into shallow left. Ryan Cox barehands it. 89th trick play for the tour leader. And the glove magician lands a very effective first frame toss by Mr. Electric.
3 minutes and 40 seconds here for Christian Dearman, his first inning in relief. And that's what you're going to get out of Dearman, especially when he's throwing good strikes, is you'll see the MPIs go even lower for Dearman out of relief.
Another look at Coxey making the barehanded play in shallow left. And now it's Hey Baby o'clock in Banana Land. The folks here in Cannonballer Way get a good taste of a classic Bananas promotion. The Hey Baby dance now being done in the 26th ever city, the 19th stop here on the 2023 tour. And what a great showing from the Tar Heel State this evening. It's a rowdy bunch who have decided to spend their Tuesday evening with us here in Atrium Health Ballpark. Good look at Cowboy Kyle getting after it with his head coach down there, as well as Donnie. Kyle will be up in the booth sometime around the 6th inning. He's got some shenanigans on the field that he has to take part in before he can bless us with his presence. Good nugget here from Steve about Christian Dearman's new dyed hair. He said he's going for the OG Ric Flair look, according to his IG reel, TikTok, or whatever app Steve saw it on. Jeff and Christina, both big fans of quote-unquote the blow-up thing out in the outfield. That would be an inflatable boomer, the mascot for the Cannonballers. You can bounce in that son of a gun out there.
Yeah, I might have to do that before tomorrow's game. I still, I'll be honest, I still kind of think that I enjoyed my guess to what his name was a little bit more. I thought it would be Cannon Bill.
I like that a lot. The beauty of Banana Ball is the Party Animals in the third scored the most runs ever by a team in an inning. They won the third inning 7-0, but it's match style play, so they just get a point for it. After Christian Dearman throws a scoreless inning, the Niners have 2, 3, and 4 in their order. Michael Deeb, Dan Oberst, and Dakota McFadden, and just need one run to tie this game at a point apiece.
And it's a good part of the order to be facing off against Brett Helton when you consider Michael Deeb batting .348 against Brett Helton on the season, and Dan Oberst batting .381.
Another 2-2 coming from Helton. That one cranked foul. Deeb scolded a ball to first in his lone trip to the dish tonight. Was retired on a trick play by Jason Swan. Good take on the curveball low. Count runs full. Michael Deeb has spent time in the Chicago White Sox minor league organization. That was after playing a couple years of college ball at Bethune-Cookman, which was after playing 4 years of college football at Notre Dame. He bodies that one out to right center. It's got some mustard to it. It's out of here! Michael Vitamin Deeb leaves the confines of Atrium Health Ballpark. And in one fell swoop, he walks off the fourth inning and has tied this game at a point each. Some hot potato going on with his bat at the plate, and Deeb grabs a hold of it before yeeting it towards the fans.
What a massive swing there by Michael Deeb. His third home run of the tour, and you talk about an impressive at-bat for him. Running it to a 3-2 count, and there on the ninth pitch of the AB, being able to send it out of Atrium Health Ballpark. That was a barrel for Deeb.
The Barrel King himself sends that to the land of good and plenty. Nearly 400 feet away out to right center over the 384-foot wall. Here is Emily Cole to talk about Bananas Foster and honor a foster family
across the country. So we decided to start a nonprofit celebrating those who are already doing the incredible work in the foster care world while educating and inspiring others to get involved. That nonprofit's name is Bananas Foster. Tonight, we have the honor of celebrating the Begley family. They accepted their first placement just 2 hours after receiving their license, which just proves the dire need that we have in this North Carolina community for more foster families. Currently, they're parenting 8 children. Fans, please help me recognize these superheroes who are right here in your community helping families and children in need.
These are superheroes indeed here in North Carolina, and it is a tale that you hear all too much as we are still pretty freshly embarked on this Bananas Foster journey, but it feels like every foster family who is honored signs up and has children coming their way within 3 days. In this case, it was just 2.
And just unbelievable stuff. Not only hearing that story, but seeing all these fans from the different states come together and support these heroes. I mean, you just hear how impressed they are when these details get out, and you hear the audible gasp. That's what stood out to me here in the ballpark tonight.
Could not agree more. Christian Dearman will be out for his second inning of work here as we are cruising into the top of the 5th inning. We're tied at 1 point each. The words were hardly out of my mouth as to how in Banana Ball the Party Animals can score 7 runs in the 3rd. Then the Nanners will only need 1 in the 4th to counter, since Dearman kept the boys in black and pink off the board in the top of the 4th. And Michael Vitamin Deeb doesn't let anybody hit besides himself. Little banana-lution of dance going on here with the boys. See how many boogies they can get in before we begin the top of the 5th. It's going to be 3-4-5 for the Party Animals. Jake Skoll, Bryson Bloomer, and Tanner Thomas all due to swing it. Skoll 1 for 1 on the night. He singled, been hit by a pitch, and scored a run. See the OPS plus at 190. That means he's nearly 2 times better than the average banana ball hitter.
2 times?
2 times, Josh. Three-one count now on the Party Animals left fielder. That ball off the end of the bat. DR Meadows underneath it. Backflips, makes the catch. The Doctor does it again. Amazing every time we see it. That is the 27th trick play in 30 tries for David Meadows.
I mean, the backflip is just immaculate here from DR Meadows. And when you consider that almost all of those 27 trick plays have come via the backflip, it only makes it more impressive.
This one popped into foul territory, bobbled by a fan. He had a golden opportunity to be the second fan to catch a foul ball off the bat of Bryson Bloomer today, who in his second at-bat had an RBI single and then came around to score a run. Christian Dearman boogieing, showing his keister to his 2021 Coastal Plain League teammate. Now a 1-1 count. That was a tight bender, misses outside. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that one back up the middle. Grabbed by Ryan Cox, throw over to first in time. I didn't think there was a chance in the world to get the speedy Bryson Bloomer, but you should never doubt the glove magician.
I mean, that ball looked like it was struck a lot harder off the bat of Bryson Bloomer. There started to slow down, and Ryan Cox just continuing to show his range out there at shortstop, getting over and making a very strong throw onto first base. And once again, Eric Jones Jr., a nice stretch to get Bloomer there for the second out. Now Dearman has retired 2 batters who have had a lot of success against him this year. Skull was batting .421 going into this at bat, and Bloomer batting .368.
It's a heck of a start for Mr. Dearman going through the meat of the order, and here's his roommate from last year. Tanner Thomas, 1 for 2 on the night, a single and a run scored. Ahead 3 balls and a strike. For anybody who hasn't seen it, if you delve deep into the Bananas YouTube archive, it's a fantastic series between Dearman and Tanner Thomas. As this ball's backed up by DR Meadows, he's the first guy to touch it. Now it gets to Cox, Hosley, Olsen, Jones, and DeRubius, who is the 7th and final man to snag it, which will be a rare 3-base sprint for Tanner Thomas.
And really, I think when you break down that play, Bill Leroy tried to get that ball as quickly as he could to the infield as possible, but a little bit of a low throw, and Cox unable to pick that throw from Bill, and that's how it got out there into center field, and why Tanner Thomas was aggressive enough to grab 3 bases there on the sprint.
Quick 0-2 count now on Jason Swan. 1 for 2 on the night. A fly out, a 2-run single, and a run scored. Heater grazes the outside corner. Nasty 2-seamer from Mr. Electric. He strands Tanner Thomas on third. And the Nanners just need 1 run in the bottom of the 5th inning to take their first lead in the all-important points category tonight. Time for a t-shirt toss here at Cannonballer Way. We're in the Single A affiliate of the Chicago White Sox. Boy, Jaron Donaldson nearly just threw that t-shirt into the booth. That's a good arm. No wonder why he was the Peach Belt Conference Pitcher of the Year last spring. Howitzer on that man.
What a track man read it at.
I had 69 miles per hour on that t-shirt throw.
That's a nice throw from Donnie.
Really good. Look what Split's got going on here. This is a new bit. Some kind of a smiley face balloon, and he's sucked it into the top of his banana head. Never ceases to surprise.
Somebody's got to pop that pimple. I think that's what it is.
Kristen said she can't believe we're already into July. Yeah, join the club, Kristen. This is the 57th game of the tour, which means after this we'll only have 30 left on the schedule of the 87. We are pegged to play across 33 cities and 21 states. Dan Oberst, deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone. It's way out of here. The Nanners walk off the fifth inning. Home runs have won them back-to-back frames. Mr. Oberst with his 6th blast of the tour. And the Bananas are up 2-1.
It is one of the stranger ways you will ever see back-to-back home runs for a ball club. But Dan Oberst sent that ball into orbit. It got out of the park in 6 seconds.
That was in the air for a very long time. We honor all the military members, both past and present, who have served the United States of America here in Kannapolis, North Carolina, and we pass that on to everybody watching at home on YouTube. Thank you so much for your service. Josh, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was in a mental pretzel while that ball was arcing out into the Kannapolis night on if that was indeed back-to-back home runs, but I don't think there's any other thing you could call that.
Back-to-back home runs and on consecutive pitches, mind you, Bika. That was a first pitch ambush from Dan Oberst as well.
It's his 6th tater tot on the tour. He's the Nanners leader in OPS already at 1017. Only Banana with an OPS north of 1,000. That's on-base percentage plus slugging. And now DJ the Invader will take over. How the turns table. 7-run inning for the Party Animals in the 3rd. Most runs ever scored by a team in a single frame in Banana Ball history. And 2 straight scoreless innings tossed by Christian Dierman, backed up by inning walk-off homers from Michael Deeb and Dan Oberst. Give the Nanners a 2-1 lead in the all-important points category with the Invader taking over.
That, my friend, is the beauty of Banana Ball.
Certainly for the home team. Great outing by Mr. Electric. He gives up 1 sprint, but that's the only base runner. And he comes away with 2 points earned. See, the Invader has been great in the MPI world, averaging 3 minutes and 57 seconds per inning thrown, which is 9th best on the tour.
And DJ, when you look at just the numbers from June, his average MPI, 1 minute and 35 seconds. He averaged a sub-2 MPI in the month of June. Remarkable stuff.
You see the patented changeup fouled off there. Quick 0-2 count on Chase Acuff, the shortstop, as it's going to be 7-8-9 for the Party Animals here in the top of the 6th. And that is a rare sight. Righty on righty changeup. Once again, DJ's best pitch, and it gets Acuff swinging for only his 15th strikeout compared to 14 ball 4 sprints he's earned on the tour.
And now with Garrett Delano, the donut batter, coming up, DJ will try and get his 2nd straight strikeout and give these fans some Dunkin'.
Delano singled and scored his first time, then grounded out to 3rd. Both those at-bats happened in the 4th inning. The 3rd rather. He started and ended the 3rd inning. part of 11 party animals who came to the dish. And for the second straight at bat now, Delano is a strike away for making over 5,000 fans in Kannapolis very happy, and for the second time tonight, he has himself a single. Now it'll be Joe Lytle, 1 for 1 on the day. A single his last time, hit by a pitch his first trip to the dish. He's come around to score once. Eder gets the bottom of the zone. To supplement that devastating changeup, DJ throws 4-seam and 2-seam fastballs, as well as a slider and a cutter. And Lytle 2 for 2 on the night. Good to see him getting his swing back after he jammed his finger in Nashville on the first ever play challenged. He'd been out for a couple of weeks. Maybe a little slow to get back into the full swing of things. But boy, when he is on, he hits balls with a whole lot of velo all over the park.
Yeah, I mean, he played very sporadically across that month of June, like you said, due to the injury. But before that was batting as hot as just about any other party animal. I mean, 5 RBIs across 3 games in Oklahoma. It was an impressive thing for Joe Lytle.
Dustin Baber, the party animals tour leader, hit trick plays. Not able to ascertain the toss from Zach Frangelo, our director of entertainment. But still able to grab his beverage, shotgun it with the heel of his cleat. And up here in a big spot, that one fouled off. Two men on with 1 down. And a quick 0-2 count on the party animals 10-hitter and second baseman, who's 1 for 3 on the night, with a single, a run scored, and 2 flyouts to DeRubius and right. Great stop by Bill Leroy. Count 1 and 2. And that one fouled off. Delano off second, Lytle off first. Bananas lead by a point. And Baber hangs tough once again.
Yeah, and he did a good job of fouling out that pitch after DJ goes with the changeup low in the zone there against Dustin Baber. Decides to go high fastball. Baber still able to get wood, fight off, and hopefully get a better pitch here.
Loses his bat, pops it up on a hop. Ryan Cox shovels to second. Hosley over to first. Another terrific double play turned by the Bananas. Gets DJ out of the 2-man on, 1 down jam. And for the 3rd straight inning, the party animals held scoreless. The Bananas just needing 1 run to grab a point. Another look at Cox with the shovel to Hosley and the throw over to first. A riveting ball game heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. And what a treat. How about this? Jesse Cole, the man in the yellow tux, owner of this here club, joining us for a little mid-inning interview. And Jesse, right off the bat, how cool is it to be back in the state where your front office career really started here in Gastonia?
It's amazing seeing so many people from Gaston County. 15 years ago, but 10 years of learning and then Savannah, and I'm taking a hold of them. So grateful to be around so many people, so many friends. Put on a great show. It's fun.
Now, Jess, after 41 games, the party animals are up by 3 games, but each team has won 3 states. Are you surprised about how close this tour has been between the Nanners and the Animals?
Oh, 100%. I mean, you can't, put that together before the season, hoping for it to be close. I mean, so many guys have risen up better than we even imagined, and the talent level is, amazing. And these guys are making more trick plays. They're having great at-bats. The pitchers have been unbelievable. So, yeah, this is what we want. You want close games every single night, and I think that's what makes a great show in Banana Ball.
Well, it's been a really fun one thus far. Can't tell you how much we appreciate you joining us, Jesse. There goes Jesse Cole, man in the yellow tux, who started this venture with his wife Emily back in 2016, but before that Started his front office career with the Gastonia Grizzlies in the Coastal Plain League and took a floundering team to being one of the top capacity ball clubs collegiately in the country. And as we bid adieu to Jesse, we say hello to Cowboy Kyle Lewiggs joining us in the old broadcast booth. Kyle, how you living tonight, buddy?
Hello, Pico. Hello, Josh. For the viewers at home, if you guys couldn't hear Jesse like we couldn't in the booth, it's okay because I am an expert and I speak Jesse Cole. He said that it was very good to be back in North Carolina where it all started. He was very happy to get back to his roots at where things happen in Gastonia, and he would have never thought in a million years that this took off the way that it is now. He also did not expect for the series to be as tight as it is. Nobody else can predict that, and he is 100% shocked as well as pleased with how both teams have played thus far through the tour.
I think that was a perfect translation.
That was really good work, Kyle.
I speak Jesse pretty fluently, so pretty happy with it.
It's good stuff. That's what 6 years in the organization does for you.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for blessing us with your presence up here, Kyle. It's a pretty wild scene down there on the field. Let's listen into your buddy Christian Dearman. What's he got going on?
My coach is here. So, first up, Adam Virant, red foot, right foot on red.
Dearman with the old red foot, right foot mix-up. In case you haven't caught up, Adam Virant and Tyler Gillum are playing Twister in the first base coach's box. Well, the bottom of the sixth inning commences here. Dakota McFadden with a 1-2 count on him. The last two batters Brett Helton has faced have both hit inning walk-off homers. Michael Deeb and Dan Oberst, the 3 and 4 hitters in the lineup. And if there was anybody that the masses were throwing a yard card on here in his home state with all kinds of family and friends in the building, it had to be Dakota McFadden.
Yeah, quick backstory. I was actually supposed to be doing the Twister last inning. I was going to be the man on the mic, but my roommate, Dan Oberst, hit the first pitch out of the park. So I had to leave it to Dearman so I could come up here in the booth with you guys. And I could see D-Mac. You know, he's got 60-plus family members in the crowd tonight is what I've heard. So I could see him leaving the yard here.
Heater on 1 and 2 just barely missed, according to Vincent Chapman. And now the count runs full.
Intense game of Twister brewing over there.
And that one lined into right center field. Excellent job by D-Mac of shortening up his swing. And the inning-winning run is aboard. D-Mac lined out his first time. He's now 1 for 2. And Eric Jones, just like McFadden in his home state, the Charlotte kid, 1 for 1 on the day. He was pinch run for by Malachi Mitchell, who takes over for McFadden here.
These guys are still going in that coach's box.
The Twister game is getting fierce here. The competition between Virant and Gillum, just about as tough as it gets. We're in a really precarious position, and as they play Twister, Helton Briggs, Baber, and Acuff onto the mound for a little Avril Lavigne lip sync and choreographed dance to go with it. And has a 1-1 count now on EJ.
Yeah, and I think throwing it back to the Dan Oberst home run last inning, I don't think anybody on either side in both dugouts was surprised that he led off the inning there with a home run, because he lost about 26 balls in BP today before the game. There was a couple kiddos running loose out there, and they were gifted probably about 8 or 9 balls apiece. It was truly something to see.
Malachi takes off. This one bounced to third. Bloomer only has 1 play. He makes it at first. And Malachi now thinking about going back to first. Well, PTSD from his first trip on the bases, in which he thought he had stolen second until he realized it was a fly out to Reese Hampton, and he was doubled off first base before he had taken a couple steps off of second. Now Jackson Olsen will swing it, who was the man who hit that fly ball where Flash was doubled off, and just like in his first at-bat, he's first pitch swinging, but behind 0-1 this time.
Yeah, tipped it just like a cue ball in pool, and as the 0-1 pitch is delivered from Brett Helton, It's a great time to dive into something that's really been bothering me, because I don't know if you've had an experience where you've just constantly gone out of your way and did everything you could do to hang out with a person just to be left out to dry. I don't know if you can relate to that too much, but I had that happen to me last night with the man standing right next to me. And, you know, I didn't get much sleep last night. It's been hard seeing him at the ballpark today, and me and Josh we're not in a good spot right now.
Kyle, don't do this here. You don't have to bring your personal lives on the broadcast.
You left me no choice, Josh. This isn't personal. This is my life. And you put it in shambles last night.
How many times do I have to apologize to you? I've apologized profusely.
You know what they say. Actions speak louder than words, and your actions hurt last night.
This one's bounced off the deflecting glove of Dustin Baber. Malachi Mitchell's going to score easily. And Jackson Olsen has his 14th walk-off of the tour. Nanners have won 3 straight innings. They lead 3-1. And now Malachi will throw on the Ariel wig and almost take it off. He channels his inner mermaid and gets blasted through our makeshift ocean with Ryan Kellogg and Noah Bridges doing their best to keep the waves flapping. As Flash the Kid leaves it all out there on the line. I mean, that guy got torpedoed into that table.
That's how it felt to be stabbed in the back by Josh last night. That's the best way that I can relate to it. I'm sorry Malachi had to go through that. I'm happy to see the Bananas go up 3-1 going into the top of the 7th. But goodness gracious, Josh, that's what your words felt like last night.
There's a lot of Talevsky slander going on around here, man. Yeah, you wanna
solve this mano a mano, bro?
Bruh?
Come on, bruh.
I want you to know, Kyle came up here and I was pretty happy to see him.
Yeah,
despite knowing that things are not, they're not in the best of shape right now. And I came in to give Kyle a hug and just nothing. Nothing. It was all me and no Kyle,
That's what it was like last night. All me and no Josh.
Well, listen, you guys figure out your little feud here. We do have to give away a pair of Hokas this evening. For anybody who's new to this whole gambit, you have to click the link in the description of the video. We'll also throw it in the comment section. And there is a buzzword that you will need to throw in.
Drum roll, please. Not you, Josh.
The buzzword is Intimidator. Intimidator, shout out Dale Earnhardt, who hails from Kannapolis here in North Carolina and was the namesake for this team up until the name switch going into 2021 to Cannonballers. Intimidator.
Intimidator. Intimidator.
Are you intimidated by Kyle's affection? Yeah, I had to try and...
No, a better buzzword would have been backstabber. No spaces.
I don't know how much longer I can keep this headset on.
But those watching at home, it is not backstabber. It is, in fact, intimidator.
Correct.
So win you a free pair of Hokas.
Top of the order here for the Party Animals, now down by 2 points, and Reese Hampton deposits that in right center. Flirted with 2 bases. Excellent throw in from DR Meadows on a hop. And Hampton making a good business decision. Gets his 2nd single of the night. He's 2 for 4 with a run driven in.
And we just continue to see how consistent Reese Hampton is for the Party Animals. When you look at the OPS plus numbers, since we've gotten OPS plus data on this tour, this is the first ever game between the Bananas and the Party Animals where someone not named Jake Skull is leading the tour in OPS plus, and it's Reese Hampton.
Unbelievable diving catch. Ryan Cox robs Dalton Cornett of another base hit to start this top of the 7th inning, and Hampton able to scamper back to the base in time to avoid being doubled up.
Yeah, really good reaction. Really big play, saving the start of what could have been a very big inning, and Ryan Cox with a huge celebration. And that was the Snow Angel, or should I say Dirt Angel, right behind second base. That's good stuff.
And here is the aforementioned Jake Skoll. The invader in his second inning of work sneaks a fastball in there. Skoll 1 for 2 on the night. Single hit by pitch and a run scored. This is the man who has led OPS Plus for every game of this tour up until now. His Gastonia Honey Hunters teammate from the last 2 summers, Reese Hampton, takes it from him. If you've spent any time around Banana Land, they are a nearly inseparable dynamic duo. Tough to see, tough to know really who Skoll spends more time with, Reese or Jake's girlfriend Avery.
That's a very good question.
Sparkly Shoes in the chat, by the way. Thank you for joining in on the drum roll.
Somebody had to pick up Josh's slack.
Correct. When we unveiled that Intimidator was the buzzword to get you yourself a chance at some free hokas tonight. Hampton off from first, swing and a miss from Skoll, throw from Bill, not in time.
Ooh, we might get a fan challenge here. Where's he at? Oh, I think he's about to stand up. Here he goes.
Skoll strikes out on the otherworldly change.
And there it goes.
The invader, and we have our fan challenge here in Cannonballer Way. Let's pop the Riedel headsets on and converse with Zach Frangelo and Vincent Chapman. Zach and Vincent, we are live. What do you guys got down there? Okay, Jackson Hamilton in Savannah. Let's take a look at the replay. Another gander. Safe. Yep, one more look. Vincent Chapman was ready to send it there, but we have another angle. And once again, safe. Vincent and Zach Frangelo confirm. And here comes the celebration between Vincent Chapman and Reggie Liggins. It's a good handshake.
Yeah, it was a little chaotic, but I mean, pretty good stuff. Nothing like the handshakes I do, but I mean, it was all right. There's some work to be done.
How about the Tar Heel State faithful? Apoplectic that call was not reversed.
Nice word.
We appreciate the passion that has been displayed in Kannapolis, North Carolina tonight. Now Bryson Bloomer swings it with Hampton on second and 2 down. He lines that one deep to right. Benito Rubius is underneath it. Oh, behind his back! The Italian Stallion strikes again! That's an incredible trick play in a huge moment with Hampton barreling around third base.
I mean, with the runner in scoring position in Reese Hampton, Vinny DeRubius with 2 outs still goes behind the back and makes the tornado catch. That is a pivotal point in this ball game, especially considering you don't want the party animal scoring any runs in these innings.
He's now 2 for 3 in trick plays on the tour. And the Banana Nanas will boogie as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Wow. That's all I've got to say is wow.
Let's see what the Italian Rapscallion has to say.
The Italian Rapscallion says, Maroon! What a catch by Vin. A little tough day at the plate so far. But way to make a catch like that in a big spot. He's not afraid, guys, to make a big play no matter what. No Italian food last night, but our mothers exchanged phone numbers this weekend. They're planning to hang out up in Connecticut, so, you know what, next time he makes a big play, it's because the mother energy has been involved. Little familia getting involved. How you doing, Ben? Way to go, baby. Way to show out here in Kannapolis. A little hot start out there in right field. Here we go.
Thank you so much, Chris Sachi, the video legend of Banana Land.
I'm once again speechless. Goodness gracious, there's so much going on right now. That was fantastic though, and it was actually really cool for that to come to fruition because I talked to Vinny about the other pop fly that he caught in right earlier in the game when Dearman was pitching. I was talking to him and he decided to hold off on that that trick play that he wants to pull out every time that he plays right field. And I told him that it was probably the right call, not letting them gain any more momentum than they already had, and just making the play and kind of getting us out of that inning with the 0. And then it coming to fruition a couple innings later is pretty cool to see.
Tucker Perry is going to be the new man on the mound. As per usual, a bajillion things going on during that half inning. The Banana Nanas making the journey up here to Kannapolis and lighting the field under their feet ablaze.
I never even put 2 and 2 together that they were here and we weren't playing in Savannah. That's just how many things are going on here in North Carolina. I didn't even put 2 and 2 together that they were out of Savannah and with us.
Correct. Well, home cooking. It was only a 4-hour drive for them, so they were able to make the trip. Brian Cox on the first pitch he gets. Flies it to Jake Skoll. And 1 pitch, 1 out for the Submariner, Tucker Perry.
Here comes the backstop for the Bananas and my roommate coming from the crowd and announcing himself. What do you guys think that intro is going to sound like whenever we get to like year 15, year 20? A 20-year banana, myself,
I
Bill
caught
Leroy.
a 10-pound bass,
Yep.
Bill Leroy.
Yep. That feels about right. I had a very cool moment before the game. Our man that threw out the first banana, Chase, help me out, fellas. What's his
Chase
last
Briscoe.
name? Chase
Laser beam foul from Leroy.
actually gifted me one of the pit crew shirts that the people in his pit crew wear. And he gifted me and a couple other guys one of those shirts, and he had it signed and gave it to us. Pretty cool stuff.
That one bounced to third. Bryson Bloomer bobbles it. Looks like he was sizing up, trying to yank it between the legs. It's going to be an E5, only the 8th error on the tour for the normally sure-handed Boomer.
That brings up Danny Hosley. Banana's really looking another point here in the 7th would go a long way with us. Only 2 innings remaining after that. We got 30 minutes on the clock, and the man in the box is probably going to close it if we have the lead. So
Leroy, a crafty runner over at first. He's 7 for 7 in his stolen base attempts. He had a monster lead, and the party animals might want to take a look at this. Tucker Perry with a good move. Swan slapped the tag on quickly. And are they going to challenge it? Yes. Sam Claycamp throws his cowboy hat onto the field. And after going 6 innings with no challenges, we get 2 in the 7th. Once again, Vincent Chapman and Zach Frangelo slapping the Riedel headsets on. And we task Jackson Hamilton with giving us an angle to see if Reggie Liggins made the right call here. Let's send this thing into the replay. Can't tell there. Okay. Could not tell there.
Do we have a first base angle?
We do not have a first base angle as that camera was on Danny Hosley. Let's see if we can slow down that last angle, but right now this is not being overturned. Okay, it's inconclusive. We haven't gotten anything. And that's one where live, I thought he was out, but we had no video to support that. So Reggie Liggins is vindicated for the second time here in the 7th inning. Good for Reggie.
2 for 2 tonight. Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm glad I'm not a part of any of these, but especially that one.
You can use my headset the next time if you want.
I don't want anything of yours, Josh.
That was a very nice olive branch, Josh. I like what you're doing here, man.
You
I'm
can't trick me.
trying,
I
you
see
know.
what you're doing. If if you had water and I was about to die of dehydration, I wouldn't drink it.
This is a contentious booth. It does all stem from Kyle just wanting to hang out with Josh. I can confirm that.
Literally didn't do anything wrong.
Josh is a busy man. It's tough to nail him down. Bill takes off, and now he has his 8th steal in as many attempts.
It's because I walked home last night.
No, there's nothing to do with that. Even though I would like for you to return home safe, and that's not a very safe way to travel.
Danny Hosley into the right center field gap. Bill Leroy racing around third. He's going to score the inning-winning run. Hitters have taken 4 straight frames. Haas gets his tour leading 19th walk-off overall. And looks like school's out for the Nanners at home plate. Danny Hosley now 2 for 2 on the night with a pair of doubles as well.
And this is a guy who is batting over 500 early on in the month of July, getting on base at a high clip with sprints and steals to first base. And you just talk about hitting with runners in scoring position. Danny Hosley continues to improve on that mark as this tour progresses.
We're going to play a little outdash the flash here. Boy, I thought for a second Toy Moyer was going to be the contestant.
Outdash the toy.
Turns out he's just going to come in here to catch Ryan Kellogg. Our fan is jogging early on, and now he's going to take off. Malachi on his heels quickly. Oh, this one might be over in between second and third. Malachi's playing with his food now. And he's going to take the long way around. Oh, no! Oh, no. Looks like our contestant is A-OK and will twerk it out. As we have seen over and over again, the best way to relieve pain. Cowboy Kyle Lewigs, now you have some tasks this evening. I don't want to hold you from them, but I appreciate you coming up to visit.
Yeah, I should probably get back down here. I don't know if I can handle being next to Josh any longer. Biko, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Keep your eyes peeled. You might see me in the game tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, for an inning possibly.
Ooh.
Little midweek bullpen action. We don't know. You guys stay alert, stay tapped in, stay locked in. Stay aggressive on the field and off the field. Everybody watching at home. Jake, I saw your 55 messages in the chat. Thank you so much for picking my side as the Lewigs brothers unite against the Tulefskis. Thank you so much for your time.
It would have been nice to have some support from your Jacob in the chat to combat Kyle's Jake, huh?
My heart's just so much heavier right now.
This is tough. He came out here with the flamethrower, and he really did not let you take any breaks. It's on your case, man.
I just feel, in a sense, defeated. Okay, what can I really do? I'm trying to make peace with the guy.
Right. Connor Higgins, the flame-throwing southpaw, averaging 94 to 97 miles per hour with the heater. He can touch 99. Works a grounder too short. Ryan Cox between the legs. Glove Magician makes it look so easy. His second trick play of the night and 90th of the tour.
Cox got a great jump on that ball, and it was almost hit between his legs to begin with by the time he was there. Another great piece of work by the Glove Magician.
1-0 count now on Jason Swan. Party Animals first baseman, 1 for 3 with a 2-run single, as well as a run scored himself. Connor Higgins was drafted in the 30th round of the 2018 draft by the Los Angeles Angels, a year after he was taken in the 35th round by the Texas Rangers and decided to go back to Arizona State for a third campaign. This one popped to Vinny DeRubius in right field. He will make the snag for out number 2.
Yeah, and we have continued to see Connor Higgins get more and more comfortable out there on the mound for the Bananas. We still see a couple times where the control will elude him in a sense, but generally throwing much more consistent strikes and getting more and more of a feel for that banana ball.
Now Chase Acuff will swing it with 2 outs. Peter misses a hair below the knees. Party Animal shortstop 1 for 2. Two RBIs came on a double in the third. He struck out swinging. His only other trip to the dish. Higgins made it all the way up to AAA with the Angels. Dalton Malden out at second makes a nice play. Freshly inserted to the game, the songbird of our generation finishes up the 1-2-3 frame. From Higgins, who I was just trying to get out, had most recently thrown for the Perth Heat in the Australian Baseball League this past winter before really becoming an impressive bullpen arm for the Nanners, and a quick 1-2-3 frame there for Higgs.
2 minutes and 23 seconds for Connor Higgins. That is the fastest MPI that he has recorded so far in his banana ball career. Safe to say his best inning he's had all season.
Ground out, fly out, ground out. And the Party Animals still have not scored since they had their historic 7-run third inning. We term Atrium Health Ballpark yellow here. The sun has not fully set on Cannonballer Way, but we will still light up the sky. 256 straight sold-out Bananas game. Good folks of the Tar Heel State have brought incredible energy tonight. And now they all get to become yellow. A beautiful moment for our 19th stop of the tour. What do you think about him, Jesse?
We love you so much, Banana Nation. Now let's go, Bananas!
Couldn't have said it any better myself. How about that? Double fisting Bananas as Zach Blankenship will be the new man on the mound for the Party Animals. Tucker Perry exits stage left after giving up an unearned run and getting 1 out in the 7th inning. Blankenship inherits a 3-point deficit and will try and keep it at that, as we are half an inning away from the 9th, when every run will count as a point and the Party Animals can try and mount a courageous comeback.
And it's nice to see Zach Blankenship out on the mound for the Party Animals. The second lefty now in their pen with Brandon Sherman. And he's appeared in 1 game for them. He appeared in Game 1 in Akron and worked 2 innings on the mound for the Party Animals. Scattered 3 hits, but also recorded 3 strikeouts without giving up a run. What really sticks out to me, no ball 4 sprints allowed. That's huge.
Alex Ziggy Ziegler tries to check his swing with the mammoth bat he currently employs, and unsurprisingly, he goes around. Peter misses down. He's got a 2-1 count. Ziggy 0 for 5 on the tour with this big bat. Yearning for that first extra large hit. And he's ahead 3 balls and a strike. Blankenship employs a fastball, high 80s, low 90s. Throws mostly 2-seam sinkers, which is what we've seen a lot in this at-bat. And that one bounced to the right side. Baber attacking, bare hands behind his back over to first. Just ahead of Ziggy. And it's a terrific trick play from Derek Ginger himself, who steals the shine here.
My mind is blown by that trick play from Justin Baber. going behind the back on the foot there. I didn't even think that he would throw it straight to Jason Swan like that. That is an unbelievable play considering Ziggy barreling down that line.
Bouncer, and DR Meadows has to skip rope. That's the curveball. Comes in the mid to upper 70s. Blankenship also works a changeup and splitter in as well. DR 0 for 2 on the night. And has struck out and flown out into a trick play by his counterpart, Reese Hampton in center.
Yeah, and DR Meadows has an 8-game hit streak that is on the line in this at-bat here against Zach Blankenship. And in a 3-0 count, we'll see if he decides to get the green light and try and extend that hit streak to nine games.
We've got plenty of time on the clock. Still 18 minutes and change here with only 3 outs or a run being need to be scored by the Nanners to send us to the 9th. Count now 3-1 on Doc. He will take the ball for a sprint and throw away the 8-game hitting streak. He's on his horse, motoring towards second. Close play! And he gets in there ahead of the tag from Jake Skoll. Terrific sprint defense by the Party Animals to nearly nab the incredibly fast David Meadows.
Yeah, that's what you see out of DR Meadows, using his speed to get into scoring position quickly on a sprint. And man, if you're the Party Animals, you wish maybe you hadn't used that challenge an inning ago, and maybe you can use it on a review there. But, of course, losing that challenge earlier in the 7th, they do not have a challenge unless we go to showdowns tonight.
On the second look, I think DR got the leg in there just ahead of the tag from Skoll. But certainly would have been a great opportunity for the Party Animals to use it if they had it. Great scoop by Cornett, throw to third, not in time. DC3 did all he could. But DR Meadows gets his 28th steal of the tour. He's one behind Dan Oberst for third most. Of course, Malachi Mitchell, who gets on average 2 to 3 base running opportunities a night, has been pacing all base runners. And now a 2-1 count on Michael Deeb, who ended the 4th inning on the 9th pitch of the at-bat from Brett Hilton by sending a ball about 400 feet out into the right center field seats. And now Blankenship is 1 ball away from losing this inning.
And speaking of DR, Biko, after having a 6-game stolen base streak snapped in his last game, that challenger game against the Florida Collegiate All-Stars, he all of a sudden already has another stolen base, and he actually has 6 in the month of July, which is leading all players, even over Malachi Mitchell.
Was a generous strike call there from Vincent Chapman. Now the count full on Michael Deeb, and he bounces one backhanded by Acuff. Throw home is wide. Deeb gets his 2nd walk-off of the night, 17th of the tour. The Bananas have now won 5 straight innings and take a 4-point advantage into our final frame tonight. Pressure bursts pipes. That's the green light special base running system that Tyler Gillum was able to employ to take back-to-back Coastal Plain League championships at 21 and 22. DR was a part of the latter, and you saw its success there. Here is the young professor to let us know what's happening next.
1 Bananas as we head into the top of the 9th inning. But here's the thing about the game of banana ball. In the final inning, every run counts for a point. That means the time is now for the Party Animals to stage their comeback and put some runs on the board. But ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of that, Danny Hosley and the boys in yellow need just 3 outs to shut this down and get the win. Anything can happen here in banana ball. Ladies and gentlemen, get loud and welcome to the final inning.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the ring dudes for tonight. First on the Party Animals dugout, number 27, Jake Lee Alios. And on top of the Bananas dugout, number 12, the Cowboy, Kyle Louise. Banana Land, we need your energy. We need your fist pumping in the air nice and hard, so let's go.
Well, as Lealios disrobes on the Party Animals dugout, and our friend Cowboy Kyle Lewicks does the same on the Nanners dugout. What Kyle told us a couple innings ago rings true. Nanners with the lead in the 9th, and so the best pitcher on the tour, Danny Hosley, will come on in to try and nail down the victory.
And this is the 4th appearance in the month of July for Danny Hosley, his 3rd in relief. And man, he has not allowed an earned run to the Party Animals in relief since April the 13th in Savannah, Georgia. It is unreal what Danny Hosley is doing out there. And you talk about the last time out for him pitching against the Florida Collegiate All-Stars. Danny Hosley recorded his lowest MPI of the season, finishing the game in 1 minute and 55 seconds and only needed 8 pitches.
And as you can see, declined his MLB All-Star Game invitation, or else he would be in Seattle tonight. And it was a very deserving invite that he got as well.
Well, I talked to Danny about this. He said that he was very honored, but he had a real feeling among speaking with the team before tonight and leading up to this North Carolina series that Game 1 was really going to go to the Bananas' way, and he wanted to be the man on the mound to close it out.
He's 12 for 13 in his save opportunities. This is not his 14th chance as a save, since the Bananas have won the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th innings and now lead by 4 points. But it never hurts to have a little insurance out there on the bump, no matter how dominant you've been on the tour, especially against a team that scored 7 runs in the 3rd inning tonight. Hosley trying to get this full capacity crowd free donuts. Cut and miss! Hosley delivers. Delano strikes out. And it is free donuts for all here in Banana Land. For now, it looks like munchkins are being hurled at any and all fans who are looking or not looking for a tasty treat to be thrown in their general direction.
And that was a gutsy pitch from Danny Hosley. Even though he's ahead 0-2, I think he knew Garrett Delano was looking fastball and that was what he wanted to see. Hosley decides to gas him up high in that zone. Delano goes chasing. And again, for a guy who has the highest strikeout rate of any pitcher on this year's tour, Danny Hosley just continues to dominate against a Party Animals team batting just 187 against him on this year's tour.
Excellent effort from Jackson Olsen there on the foul ball from Joe Lytle. Delano's now 2 for 4 on the night, which makes him 9 for 18 on the tour. So he came into the game hitting 500. He will leave the game hitting 500. The sample size is still small, but Delano continues to really impress.
But if we continue to see Garrett Delano get more and more ABs on this year's World Tour going forward for the Party Animals, he very well could start to contend for that banana ball batting title.
That's a fact. He currently leads all hitters with that 500 batting average. Cut and a foul tip by Joe Lytle. Great job getting a piece of that Vulcan changeup. Hosley's out pitch, supplemented by a 12-6 curveball, 4-seam and 2-seam heaters. And once again, able to hang tough. Lytle 2 for 2 on the night. Starting to see the ball really well again. Bottom of the order has been productive. It's 8, 9, 10 here in the 9th, and that backdoor bender gets the top of the zone. 2 strikeouts for Danny Hosley. The Party Animals are down to their final out. That's now 64 strikeouts in 44 innings pitched. It's absurd what the 2022 graduate out of George Mason University is doing here on this tour, especially when you consider that Hosley's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles, an RBI, and a walk-off. Dustin Baber with a barrel, but foul! Caught by a fan, and that's your ball game! A laser beam from Dustin Baber! What a play by that young man! And the Nanners win 5 points to 1!
And the entire team going out there to swarm the fan! That is why you bring your club to a ball game! Game ended by the fans! The Bananas win it 5-1!
Are you kidding me? Look at our hero showdown tonight. He's going to get to celebrate with the Banana Boys as they take night one here in North Carolina. Come on,
Fans were not done this time. Sending it down to the man on the field, the catcher numero uno. Give it up for Bill Leroy.
Ladies and gentlemen, come to the mound one last time to celebrate a Bananas win. Myself, Bill Leroy. Up next, we have our wonderful coaches, Coach Adam Byron, Coach Tyler Gillum. And of course, our wonderful entertainers, fastest man in Banana Ball, Flash the Kid. Our bad trickster, Mr. Alex Ziegler. And our dancing first base coach, Maceo. We have our pitchers and reserves. Starting pitcher, Zach Phillips, Kyle Louise, Jared Donaldson, Christian Dearman, DJ the Invader, Ryan Kellogg, Connor Higgins, Matt Malatesta, and Nolan Daniel. Holding down the first base position tonight, my dear friend, number 3, Mr. Eric Jones. Up next, you know him and love him, Savannah Bananas heartthrob, number 9, call him maybe, Noah Bridges. The slugger, walking up with the legend, Reginald Horton. Going big fly to left field tonight, Danny Oberst. Closing out the 9th inning with a double to right center as well, number 18, Danny Hosley. The trick shortstop, living up to his name tonight, number 6, Mr. Ryan Cox. Leading off for the Bananas, the doctor, number 5, D.R. Meadows. Coming up singing his own song. Check it out on Spotify, Miss You Love You, number 13, Dalton Malden. The Italian Stallion, bringing the flavor to the mound, behind the bat catch in right field, Mr. Vinny DeRubius. In his home state, number 24, Dakota McFadden. Also leaving the yard in right center tonight with my man who ended the game, Kamani and Michael D. And last but certainly not least, our social media star and greatest showman, number 8, Jackson Olsen. Right out where you came in to thank you all for an amazing night here in Camp